Welcome to the World History 1 lecture series. At the end of each slide there will be a 10-second delay. Use this time to pause the presentation and complete your notes. When you are done, push play and you will move forward. This lecture will begin in 5 seconds. Welcome to World History 1 Lecture 6.5 on the Pax Romana, and let's talk about America's 34th President, Dwight David Eisenhower. You know, Ike. Well, you probably don't know, but you're going to learn about Eisenhower in American history. What you need to know for our class is that the 20 years before he becomes president are probably the worst 20 years in American history. You see, it all starts with the Great Depression, which starts in 1929 when the stock market crashes, which leads to all these guys being out of work. All of a sudden we have to move into these shanty towns, then we have this woman who looks like she's going to have a nervous breakdown, and these little kids who wonder why their dads can't get jobs. Well, the Great Depression ends around 1939 because now we have World War II, which starts in 1939 and goes to 1945, and we got to deal with this guy, Adolf Hitler, and this guy, Tojo, and this guy, El Duce, Mussolini. We're going to have to storm the beaches at Normandy and raise the flag over Hiroshima, and eventually we're going to have to drop a nuclear bomb on Japan. And if that wasn't enough, we're going to have to deal with the Russians after World War II. At that time, they're called the Soviet Union. So Ike has a problem. America is tired. So he says, let's have a return to normalcy. And what he means is this: vote for me and we'll have peace and prosperity once again. People overwhelmingly voted for Ike, and he delivered on his promise. You're about to see this same concept when we look at a time in Roman history called the Pax Romana. With that said, go to the next slide. Like Eisenhower, Augustus Caesar has a problem. Rome has been at civil war for 30 years, and the people are tired. So Augustus Caesar says, let's make a deal. You let me be your emperor, and I will bring you peace and prosperity. And what comes of this is the Pax Romana. Pax Romana literally translates in Latin to Roman peace. Following Augustus Caesar's reign, he's the first emperor, the empire enjoyed approximately 200 years of peace and prosperity. That's from 14 CE to 180 CE. By the way, we just went across the big split. So now Augustus Caesar's going to do things like this. I found Rome a city of bricks and left it a city of marble. We're moving into the golden age of the Roman Empire. Because of this, there was expansion and solidification of the empire. The empire is both growing and becoming unified, and Rome is at its biggest, both geographically and in terms of power and domination over the Western world. It's the biggest civilization yet, and nobody is going to mess with it. Go to the next slide. The Pax Romana has a significant impact on Roman civilization, and nowhere is this seen better than when it comes to economics. Trade was enhanced as a uniform system of money was established, just like the Persians. Just like the Persian Empire, the Romans are going to create a uniform coin that can be used anywhere within Roman territory. Safe travel and trade were guaranteed on roads, such as the Appian Way and via secured sea lanes. Just like the Persians, the Romans are going to create a system of roads that will allow for transportation throughout the empire quickly, and they will also have secured sea lanes. Roman roads were built to last. Here's two examples of Roman roads. The one on the right shows you just how well engineered a Roman road was. just like the Persians, and Rome promoted prosperity and stability throughout the empire, just like the Persians. The Roman Empire looks nearly identical to the Persian Empire. Go to the next slide. Roman citizens might have benefited from the economic impact of the Pax Romana, but it's that return to normalcy that they crave. Stability was returned to the social classes. So once again, patricians and plebeians are back to normal. Things reset between these two classes like they were before the time of Julius Caesar. But Augustus Caesar establishes moral reforms with an emphasis on bringing back the traditional family. In other words, the macho guy is back in charge. We might have patrician and plebeian men on the same page, but we do not have women in this mix. Augustus Caesar sends them back to the home. So today, the woman's place is in the house, the Senate, and the Oval Office. Not so much in Rome. So, because of these things, Rome grows into a city of over 1 million people, and it is the first such city in the classical world. And what you will see is that Rome comes up with incredible innovations to support this city. Go to the next slide. Rome may have had a return to normalcy when it came to social classes, but politics as usual, not so much. The Senate remains in an advisory role, and it is a place of status and wealth. We don't have Roman assemblies anymore. All we have is the Senate, and all they do is advise the emperor. Rome also creates an imperial civil service to run day-to-day government operations on behalf of the empire. The emperor is in charge of Rome, but all these other people fall under his charge, and they are running the day-to-day operations. Finally, Rome continues to develop a uniform system of laws, the Roman 12 tables. So the 12 tables still applied to both social classes in the Roman Empire. Go to the next slide. The Pax Romana is around for almost 200 years. So during this time, we're going to have some good Roman emperors. Trajan, who's around from 98 CE to 177 CE, is the emperor at the height of the Roman Empire. Trajan is the emperor when Rome is at its greatest, both geographically and influentially. Hadrian, who's around from 117 to 138 CE, sets forth the northern Roman boundary with a wall across Great Britain. Hadrian decides that when I'm on the island of Great Britain, which is where England is today, this is the line, this is the end of the world, don't go past this wall. Finally, we have Marcus Aurelius. He's around from 161 to 180 CE, and he is the last of the good Roman emperors. Hail Marcus Aurelius! Go to the next slide. We're going to have some good emperors in the Pax Romana, and we're going to have some bad Roman emperors. And when I mean bad, I mean really bad, like Caligula. He's around from 37 to 41 CE, and he was a good emperor until he got sick. Then he went insane and became cruel, sadistic, extravagant, violent, and perverted. Caligula was a mad emperor, literally crazy. Nero, who's around from 64 to 68 CE, was a ruthless emperor who was so nasty that he set fire to the city of Rome. He actually sang and played his lyre or instrument to pass the time, and he did this to clear land for his real estate project. He burned down Rome so he could have his own real estate project. Talk about urban renewal. So, despite the name, the Pax Romana was not always peaceful. That's it for this lecture, and I look forward to seeing you in class.